Hello everyone, welcome to Cyberscoop TV. Greg Otto, your managing editor here. We're coming to you from the floor of the 2017 Black Hat Conference. I'm talking with Chris Pogue, the head of security services for Nuix. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Hey,
today.
Appreciate having me. Thank you.
So I know you do a lot of work in stopping nation states and terrorists like ISIS from, carrying out the attacks that they want to carry out. Kind of talk to me about how you're helping on the cyber front when it comes to what the nation states are trying to do.
Yeah, so with Nuix's history in e-discovery, right, we can take in a tremendous amount of data and with our engine flatten it very quickly and make it usable for a number of different purposes. So specifically, law enforcement intelligence agencies combating, this onslaught of, terrorist activity, hostile nation states, failed nation states. And so we work with law enforcement and intelligence agencies all over the world, right, not just the United States, but in Australia, in Kazakhstan, in Germany, in Ireland, in the United Kingdom, trying to give them the opportunity to review that data as quickly as they possibly can. And in some cases, we have our speeds up to a terabyte every 30 seconds.
Wow.
Where law enforcement can start to dig into that data and use it effectively to perform an investigation.
And that's got to be a big advantage when you're seeing an enemy sort of change up their tactics. You got to be able to work at machine speed and recognize things when they are changing, and I imagine that's got to be great for what law enforcement and what the intelligence community is looking to do.
Yeah, it's almost like shadowboxing, right? Because you're always going to be behind them. So our goal is to stay as close behind them as possible, so that we're trying to anticipate movement, but we're moving along with them. So it's very fluid and very dynamic. But having the type of technology that we do, it enables us law enforcement agencies to carry that out.
So, how do you see the threat actors changing when it comes to what law enforcement and the military is trying to do? How do you see this evolving?
What's interesting is there's a bit of evolution, but there's a bit of not evolution. Where I've been in the industry for 20 years now, and we're fighting a lot of the same battles, right? It's still poor IT hygiene, bad network security, bad segmentations, bad user access control, and so there's a lot of that. But then as they start to morph their attack vectors into new technologies, right, IoT, ransomware, however they're able to execute the crimes they want to execute, we have to be able to emulate those threats. So we have our cyber threat analysis team who is able to take those current threats, build them up in a controlled environment, identify the IOCs and TTPs, and then we feed that straight into product so that we can stay, like I said, as close behind those threat actors as possible while we try to anticipate what they're doing with some of our security researchers, looking at what's that next generation of attack.
And where do you see attacks moving toward? Because we've seen a lot of attacks that have been targeting critical infrastructure. Is there any particular part of critical infrastructure that you see attackers that they're starting to focus on?
Yeah, I think SCADA is obviously scary because you've got electrical grids, right? When you think about what the power on means, right? It's not just lights and it's not just computers. It's our means of communication. It's our means of sending and receiving information for people's prescriptions. It's refrigeration. It's hospitalization. It's all these things. So that's kind of frightening from the perspective of someone turns the lights off. What do they get? Then there's also the kinetic impact of IoT, right? We've got smart houses and smart meters and smart cars and smart watches and pacemakers, and so I really think that impact of being able to access those devices that were never designed with security in mind, and how will that impact the people that interact with that technology, right? That's pretty scary.
Great. Chris, thanks for speaking with us. Appreciate your insight. Look forward to speaking with you in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
For all of our videos, check out our YouTube channel, and for more on Black Hat and all things cybersecurity, check out cyberscoop.com. I'm Greg Otto. Thanks for watching.